Hey, it's Andy. Here at IT Supplies, we sell two different flatbed printers. Each of them have their strengths and their weaknesses. Today is part 2 in a series comparing the EPSON V7000 and the HP Latex R series flatbeds. In this video, we will compare the production capabilities of the two printers. This includes print speeds, but also the unique workflow mechanics of using either printer. Stay tuned to see where these two printers find their productivity sweet spots. When you look at full-size flatbed printers, you will see two basic shapes. The first shape has a fixed bed, typically 4 feet by 8 feet. This is the traditional flatbed design, where the substrate sits on top of the bed of the printer and a gantry or bridge carries a moving print head over the top of the bed. The second type of flatbed is a belt-driven flatbed printer. In this design, the moving components are opposite from the traditional flatbed. The substrate is fed underneath the print head, rather than the print head carriage being moved over the top of the substrate. If you look at the shape of the EPSON SureColor V7000, you can pretty quickly see that it is a traditional flatbed with a fixed bed and a moving gantry. It has a full-size bed at 4 feet by 8 feet. And if you look at the HP Latex R1000 and R2000 printers, you can see that it is a belt-driven flatbed. So which design is better? Well, as you can imagine, there are pluses and minuses to fixed or belt-driven flatbeds. Let's start with the EPSON SureColor V7000 and its fixed bed design. The fixed bed of the V7000 provides for excellent print consistency. There aren't complicated vacuum zones, substrate sensing, or belt feed adjustments. The substrate stays right where you place it, and the print head moves over the predictable surface. This gives you the ability to print with excellent precision. If you're printing small text or other fine details, the EPSON V7000 and its fixed bed give you more precise and crisp prints. The fixed bed design of the EPSON V7000 also allows for better prints on small pieces. If you're printing small items, then you will appreciate the ability to lay those directly on the bed or in a jig. With a belt-driven flatbed, it can be difficult to hold small items in place and achieve consistent results. So what's the downside of the EPSON SureColor V7000 and its traditional fixed bed design? The trade-off for precision printing on a fixed surface is the time it takes to load and unload the bed when you're ready for your next surface. All of the finished prints on the bed of the printer have to be removed before the next prints can begin. This means that there is always a gap of time when unloading or loading substrates between jobs. And this brings us to the benefits of the belt-driven HP Latex R series printers. The R series printers are loaded onto the belt from the back of the printer. From there, the substrate passes into the print zone, where it's printed. After that, the print is pushed into the curing zone before finally being ejected out of the front of the printer. This efficient motion through the printer happens without the operator needing to unload the material. In fact, the operator can queue up the next row of prints onto the belt while the first row is still printing. These next pieces are then automatically pulled into the print zone immediately following the completion of the first pieces. This conveyor system is very efficient as it allows an operator to feed piece after piece through the printer without ever stopping production. If you have a print environment where you are producing long runs, then the HP Latex is going to give you the most efficient workflow to churn out that work. One other benefit of the HP Latex belt-driven printers is the ability to print very long pieces that exceed 8 feet. The EPSON V7000 is limited to that 4 foot by 8 foot bed size, but with a belt system, you don't have this limitation. The R1000 will print 64 inches wide, and the R2000 will print 98 inches wide, and both have unlimited print lengths. In fact, the R1000 and R2000 allow for roll media to be loaded and printed continuously to a take-up reel on the front of the printer. So if you have a product that calls for 10-foot boards or an application with even longer requirements, then the HP Latex R series is your best choice. So which printer is faster and more productive? Well, there are a few ways to measure this. The first way is to look at the number of square feet per hour that the manufacturer advertises in their different modes. EPSON's production print mode will print 165 square feet per hour, or a little over 5 4 foot by 8 foot boards in an hour. The HP R1000 6-pass indoor production mode will print 300 square feet per hour, or almost 10 boards per hour. You can see that a belt-driven workflow allows for a lot more productivity over the course of an hour-long print run. But what if your business isn't doing long-run print jobs? What if you have lots of one-piece jobs that come in over the course of a day? Which printer is faster in this context? Well, because the V7000 does not use any heat for curing, the EPSON SureColor V7000 has a much faster turnaround time to print single pieces. The V7000 can go from standby to printing in just a few seconds, whereas the HP Latex flatbed printers will take several minutes. If your business consists of individual jobs that you want to knock out quickly, the EPSON V7000 is much more productive in this context. The EPSON SureColor V7000 and HP Latex R series are great printers. I hope this video has helped you understand which printer would best suit the way your print shop operates and the products you print. We'll do one more video in this series where we'll compare the costs and the special features found in both of these flatbeds from EPSON and HP. Please subscribe to be notified when those videos release. If you think you want to buy either of these printers, call me. I'd love to work with you personally. If you have more general questions, please leave those in the comments below or at itsupplies.com/questions. A few times a month, Jeff and I will sit down and answer those questions in a podcast conversation that we're calling the Extended Gamut. Thanks for watching this video and have a great rest of your day.